Diego, what is it, your middle name?
Millán.
No, the other one.
Valera?
Valera, yeah, I like that one. So Diego is, it's been with us since March now?
Yeah.
And he's helping us with the environmental education. He's from Spain, Madrid, and he's going to talk a little bit about pollination and pollinators and how this affects our everyday life. And he also has a surprise for us in the very end. So if you stay to the end, we'll have a nice game to play. Yeah. Okay, hope you have fun.
I'm going to talk about pollinators and the importance of it. So, well, first of all, if I talk very fast or you don't understand me because I don't have a perfect English, just raise your hand and I will be very happy of helping you. So that's it. Okay. First of all, what is pollination? Well, I think that we all know, but just in case, I'm going to explain. Pollination is a process in which the pollen gets transported from one plant to another, specifically from the from the male reproductive part of the flower, which is the stamen, to the female reproductive part, which is the stigma. How is this done? Thanks to the pollinators, which, well, you can see the example of a bee, but it can be any other kind of animal, or not only animals. There are other examples which I will show later, but the most common one is the bees. So the bees go to the flower because they are looking after pollen, because they want to get some food, and accidentally they got covered from all the pollen. And when they fly to another different flower, it's by accident they transfer all that pollen, and that is very important because in that way flowers can reproduce, and they can also produce the seeds and the fruits and all that. So yeah, it's very easy. It's a very easy process, which, well, it's very common. Now that we know how it works, I'm going to explain how important is this, because it may seem like something not very important, like, I don't know, it's just little insects doing their little things for their little goals. So, but it's very important. Obrigado, Luz. So, pollination, it's an essential process for life in Earth. Mainly because around 90% of flowering plants depend on it. Also, 35% of world agricultural land, it also depends on it, and around 75% of world food crops, they also depend on it. So, as you can see, they are very high numbers. So, without pollination, a lot of the foods that we eat, you can see some examples there, but there are a lot. Pears, apples, lemons, almonds, kiwi, all the kind of berries, raspberries, strawberries, blackberries, a lot of fruits and well, yes, of food. They depend completely on pollination. Yeah, so as you can see, it's very important. And well, if we don't have pollination, so which is something that is starting to be like more a real problem, because 1/3 of all pollinators in the world are starting to decrease, which is very warming. All the food security and all the health of the ecosystem is not only important for food, but also to the ecosystem, to the environment, will decline, and that is no good for us. So if we want to have life in Earth, we have to take care of pollinators. So yeah, it's very important, as you can see. Now, as I already said before, it's not only bees. Here you can see the only example of the only species of bees that produce honey in Europe, which is the honeybee.
It's always happening.
Wow. Which is the honeybee, because in the back leg they have They always like collect the pollen there, it's like the tibia. But there are more examples like Luz, agora não, okay? Like hummingbirds, bats, beetles, moths, butterflies, wasps, ants. There are a lot of examples. I don't know if you can think in more examples of pollinators that you don't see there. Anyone? There is one there that I haven't said. I don't know if anyone can identify it. It's one that is in the photo, but I didn't say the name.
Oh.
Bat?
No.
Yes.
It has a costume, let's say. I mean, it looks like another animal that is there, but it's not that one. So I don't know if anyone can. No.
The fly.
Yeah. So thanks, Liven. It's the fly. In the middle there is an insect which is very similar to the bee, but it's not a bee. It's a fly which disguised as a bee because it's a how do you say mechanism to protect themselves from predators. So yeah. But if you ever see one of these flies and you're not sure if it's a fly, a bee, or a wasp because you don't know, you have here you have 3 tips. The first one, the flies are going to have very big eyes, which are going to be like very close to each other and on the sides of their heads. Also, they have very small antenna. The bees? The bees not. The flies, thanks. And lastly, this is not something that you can see, but it's a curiosity that you can know, is that flies, they are going to fly longer distances, way longer than bees, so that makes them very good pollinators. They are not the best ones, but that fact makes them like very useful. So yeah, that's all the pollinators, but I only saw the biotic ones. I don't know if you understand this concept, but biotic factors, it's all the living things that pollinate, okay? Because we also have abiotic factors, which can be the wind, sorry, not the wine, and the water, okay? And when we refer to it can be abiotic reproductive factors. It's when they help to reproduce. So, for example, when the wind blows, it moves some seeds or pollen or whatever that may help. That is going to help to reproduction of the flowers. Ambiotic is. It can be pollinators, but it can also be if an animal eats a fruit and then the same animal put the fruit in another place, that is going to help. So yes, there are like 2 kinds of ways of reproduction for flowers: abiotic and ambiotic. If it's by wind, it's called, I don't remember. No, it was by water is hydrochory. And by wind, it's anemochory. Yeah, it's just a cool fact. Now that we know the importance, the pollinators, and how it works, let's see the threats they have to face. Because as I said, they are declining, all the pollinators. They are getting lower and lower, the numbers of pollinators around the world, because a lot of problems. The first of all, well, it's not in order, but the first of all is pesticides, because they have a lot of chemicals that they will pollute the flower, and then when the pollinator, the bee, the butterfly, or any insect that goes there, is going to feed from there, and if that animal gets a lot of pollen or nectar from that flower, it will end very intoxicated by those chemicals. So yeah, one of them is pesticides. Also, loss of habitats, with all the human activities like cutting forests, chopping down trees, making more urban areas and all that, it will take from them all their homes and habitats, which is not good, because if they don't have a place to eat, to sleep, to rest, they will end dying, and that's not good. So yeah, but it can be like very big loss of habitats, like cutting down a rainforest, or it can also be like taking one flower from the ground, because if you take one flower and one flower and one flower, we are going to get not flowers in the garden or whatever. Yeah, then there are also diseases, which is, this one is not a problem made by the human beings. Of course, the fact that we have like interaction with the environment, it will make this like even a worse problem. But diseases are more natural, and for example, there is a disease in bees that it will make them like go crazy, and they will stop pollinating or reproducing. They will go crazy, and yeah. And the next one is climate change. That you can think, oh, but climate change is about weather and all that. How can it affect these kind of animals? So with all the weather variations, like increase of temperatures, decreasing of humidity, rains, and all that, it will directly make the species, both plants and animals, start to disappear. So yeah, that is also a very big problem that they have to face. And lastly, but not less important, the invasive species. If you plant a flower that is not from here in your garden, it's not the kind of flowers that are used to, that is going to be, even though it seems like a very small action, it will have a very big impact. So you have always to search, to look up if the plant you want to plant in the ground is from here, if it's going to help them and all that. So yeah, now that we know the threats, I want you to give like some tips so that you can know what things you can do, or what is the best way of helping them. So we're going to, yes, the first one, it's putting a back hotel in your garden, if you have, of course. With you can see a very big example of a back hotel with the numbers. They are like referring to which kind of insect that can go in those kind of holes, because yeah, depending on the insect, they will enter in different holes. For example, look, these ones that are more round, it's for bees or beetles and all that. But even though this hotel looks very cute, like so big and with a lot of things, actually you should try not to make them very big, because they should be the smallest as possible, because if they are bigger, more insects are going to go there. And if there are more insects, there is a higher chance of transmitting diseases between them. So yeah, they should be as small as possible. If you can produce them like very easily, taking wood or bricks or whatever, but you can also buy them because they are in a lot of places. This is very important because it will play the function of shelter or refugee for the insects, for the pollinators. Yeah, sometimes, for example, not all of them, but for example, there is a lot of bees in the world. Almost the 90% of them are solitary, which means that they don't work in team. They just go alone. So these ones, they need the most this kind of things, of structures, because they will have to go from flower to another flower, trying to get all the pollen and trying to escape from predators and all that. So they will need to rest. Yes, it will be very important for them. So yeah. Also, another thing that we can do is support all the farmers and beekeepers that use sustainable and more friendly with the environment methods and habits, because that is going to be very positive for the pollinators, and also not only for them but also for the ground. So if we protect and take care of our planet and our resources, then we will have more possibility of keeping them for the future generations, and also for the animals and plants that need them for surviving. The next thing that we can do is, as I said before, the invasive species are very bad, so we can plant wildflowers and native trees that belong to the place that you want to put that plant or tree. That is, of course, going to be very useful. And something very interesting is that, for example, bees, they prefer blue, yellow, purple, and white in flowers, because they will have more facility. It will be more easy for them to see those kind of flowers. The one that it's more difficult for them to recognize is the color red. So try not to, if you want to do this kind of things, try to avoid the color red, because they will have more difficulties to see those kind of flowers. Yeah, this is the example of bees. And not all of them. It's just some of them. Also, of course, avoiding toxic pesticides, because I said, obrigado. As I said, they are very harmful for the environment, and also for this kind of species. So always try to buy organic organic chemicals, organic pesticides and this kind of things, because they will be better for everyone, not only pollinators and the planet, but also for us. Then a tip, very silly but also very important: don't hurt them. The thing that you just did, try to avoid it.
Bit me.
Yeah, but if we'll kill the insects, they will disappear, and they are very important for the environment. They play very, very big roles. And well, yes, mosquitoes are very annoying, but there are a lot of animals like salamanders that eat them. So put a salamander in your life if you don't like mosquitoes.
Donating my blood.
But also mosquitoes, they can be pollinators. They're not like the best example, but they can also pollinate. So try not to kill them. And bees or wasps that are people are more afraid of them. Also, I mean, you can take a jar, take them and free them outside, or also spiders can pollinate. It's not so important as bees or flies or butterflies, but a lot of species pollinate. So if we kill them, we are literally killing ourselves, because they are producing everything that we need. So try to avoid those kind of things. Okay, don't worry. You're not a murderer. But yeah, for the next time, try to avoid it. Lastly, but I think that is very important, is raising awareness of the importance of pollinators. So it's something that we can all do. I don't know, you can upload to social media or talk with someone about what you learned today, and say the things that you didn't know, hey, did you know that we depend a lot on pollinators because blah 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 blah. So yeah, raising awareness, it may be from the most important things, because it's something that we all can do. It's something very easy, and as much people are aware and know about these kind of problems, there will be more people trying to solve this, and to involvate it in the problem. So yeah, that's all. That's all you can do. It's not very difficult. I think we can all put a little part of ourselves to help. So yeah, that's the end.
Thank you.